Come here now, girl.
Hello and welcome to What's Map, your one-stop shop for everything workshop. I'm BonBonB and you're very, very welcome. Now, it's not often that Saturday is the best map of the week. We normally save Saturday for something a little bit older, just something that's hanging around. But this week, with the combination of it not being a particularly stellar week in terms of quality, plus today's map being absolutely freaking glorious, it's kind of worked that way. And on top of that, of course, we have got the quirky asset of the week and multiple factoids, because we're going to have loads of time for factoids today. But before we do any of that, it's time for the daily reminder. That's right, hitting the like button really does support the channel, gets me seen by more people and helps me grow a little bit more every single day. So thanks for your support. Right, today's map is Hesperus by Kent. Okay, now there's a bit of snow going on, but it isn't a snowfall map. In fact, you really don't want to have a snow theme active here. There's your start square, just a little bit of water going on, and that's something we'll be talking about later. The resources look like this, and that is something we'll be talking about later, because I know you're going, chessboard, yes I know. Off to the workshop. Now it is a mass transit map. We'll be using Kent's very own autumn ski resort theme, the dark green LUT as well. There's also instructions for latitude and longitude, which takes us to China, and this is the nearest picture that I could find to that latitude and longitude in China. That said, it's not a recreation of the area at all. It's just for light settings more than anything. Anyway, we do have a one-click collection. There are a few things on the collection, but again, it's not the world's longest list, and I think most people could probably cope with this if you've got a decent-ish computer. It is over 1 million trees though, so it will possibly lag a little bit, and certainly lagged a little bit on my system. Right, let's have a little fly through, shall we? Then we'll put my tongue back behind my teeth. Okay, right, now the rail runs parallel with the highways all the way, so we're not going to do that separately today. We're just going to follow it all the way across the map. Separates up a little bit here, and then we've got some very nice slick bridges going on here. Now, one minor wee problem coming up with this intersection. There's very little wrong with this map, and that's this little bit of two-way road here, right? Two-way road leading onto a one-way slip road. So basically it doesn't need to be, there you go, one way all the way down to the merge lane. So that doesn't need to be two-way road there, but other than that, it's perfectly fine. Possibly could be curved off a little bit. Now we could head off into the mountains that way, which we will do after the intermission, because there's plenty to explore in this map, and it is so very well done indeed. One little thing that distracts me a little bit, only because I don't understand it, I don't have an issue with it, and that's the terrain work. Let me just show you this perfect bridge here. We've got some terrain work with you'll see that these tiered sections on the right there, and there'll be another one coming up on the left in a minute. I'm assuming it's there for preventing rock falls. I don't think it's any sort of quarry work, because it'd be a very strange place to have quarry. But as you can see here, we've got like steps going up the side of the mountain. I'm assuming mountain, hill, mountain. Anyway, I'm suspecting to prevent rock falls. That's what I'm thinking there. It's distracting for me only because I don't understand it. It looks plausible to me, whatever it is the reason for that one, and I'm prepared to let it go no matter what. Okay, highways carry on this way. It's 2-lane highways. I do prefer these ones, especially for these more rural type builds. And this map is very, it's not a big city. It's not a megapolis map at all. It is small towns and skiing communities, and we will be having a look at the mountains later. And wow, basically, I'll just get that out of the way right now. It is very much wow. The rivers have a realism about them, but we're just following the road and the rail at the moment. And you see, high standards, nothing much to complain about here. We're coming down into the middle of the map now and the start square intersection, and this always is of interest. Just make sure that everything is fine, is flowing smoothly here. And we've got some of these, it's not going to handle a megapolis, but we're not building a megapolis on this one at all. Nice rail tunnel going through there, shallow as well, very well done. Not easy to do those at shallow depth. Over here we've got let's say two-way traffic, and I think it would struggle to handle a huge weight of traffic, this intersection, but I don't think we're going to be building anything anywhere near that big on this map. And then if we take a little right here, this is the start square. We pull back, show you the start square, and we do have, you probably already noticed them, some little assets down here. Let's have a look. And the assets are the Graffiti Mega Pack, 60 props by Feindbild. And you'll notice there are a lot of props. I would say about 60 of them. Oh, look, Pope Francis, Super Pope. Well done. So good. So good. I do have a tutorial out there at the moment, which I will try to remember to link in. If you ever wanted to know how to use these props, you normally put them against the side of a building, not standing up like cardboard figures here. But yes, you push them up against the building, elevate them up the side of the building, and they look amazing. Right, shall we do factoids? I did promise you multiple. We've got a rather long asset review and a bit of a chance later on in the show as well for some more factoids. So let's do some. This one here looks like it's kind of been painted over. Kind of like that, because obviously graffiti does actually get painted over. I think that looks pretty cool. Okay, factoids, because factoids. Paul Getty, once the richest man in the world, was the only man ever to knock out the heavyweight champion Jack Dempsey. I'd like to know more about that story, actually. I should really look it up. Another one. In Bram Stoker's original novel, Dracula, the main character, you may have heard of him, had a moustache. Only one Dracula film has ever shown him with a moustache, at the time of this book being printed in the 80s. May have happened again since. We'll do some more later. I've got time to do more later. But anyway, there you go. Graffiti Mega Pack, 60 props by Feindbild, today's asset of the day. And when I say asset, I mean assets, because there were quite a few of them. Hopefully you was able to soak in some of those while I was wittering on about Dracula. Yes, so highways and railway run parallel with each other right the way across the middle of the river valley here. It's good work. It's very, very good work. You may be looking at it and going, oh, hang on a second, is that a cloud map you're using? No, that is Vanilla Sky, Boreal Sky there. Okay, now the rail breaks away from the roads here just because of this the widening of the river. Nicely done. And then if there's anything wrong with this map, on the entire map, it is right here. This intersection here is just a little bit too squished and squashed. I'm going to try and fix it. It wasn't as easy as I thought it was going to be, just moving one or two bits. I had to shunt a lot of things about to get things flowing, and the end result isn't aesthetically pleasing, but it does work. Okay, so you may want to play about with this or rebuild it, or ask Kent, maybe. Say, Kent, could you rebuild this, please? Ah, we're now flowing. There we go, you see? So you need to be something like that, but it is rather horrible and ugly. So I'm just going to put everything back where it was. As I feel that I should put things back. Anyway, there we go. And then we can head off towards the edge of the map, which means we can take a little intermission and I can prepare myself for an exhilarating second part of today's show. And more factoids.
Have you ever wondered why the traffic AI is so bad in this game? Why do all those cars all want to use the same lane? Then you need BonBonB's Guide to Traffic AI. Click the information button now.
And we're back at Hesperus by Kent. No shipping routes because the rivers are way too narrow for that. We do have one air route running right the way across the middle of the map. Thank you very much for that. Very nice. Now, rivers, we have got lots of very realistic, bendy, windy rivers, lots and lots and lots of them. They do work as rivers. They are fairly slow running, mind you, and they don't lend themselves to support, or even, look, Oxbow Lakes. Don't think we've seen anybody do Oxbow Lakes before on the show. If we have, I'm sorry. This is your start square water source here. Realism be damned, you're not going to handle a huge amount there, and also you've got access to that Oxbow Lake there in the start square, but it's a little bit light on water for the start square. But the rivers are superb, if a little bit light. Now, my big grumble, I think, if you look at the old squares, the way that the resources have been done here, because they're obviously clearly a full tile each. When you get down to ground level, it's not really noticeable that it's a full square tile. Loving this little lake here with the fake stream leading down into it. I like that. That's always a nice thing. But yeah, I find this just a little bit distracting that it's a full tile exactly. I see how it is forestation. I get that. Like these roads here were obviously used by loggers. And you can see that the cleared areas are the areas that have got these roads. So that's nice. That's a nice touch. I just feel that it's a little bit too symmetrical and 2 kilometre square blocks like that. I find just a little off-putting. I know I should be moaning about it. Yeah, it is a glorious map and I'm moaning about that. All right. Look at the rivers. Nice and shallow, and they're just winding. These curves are absolutely spot on, 100% believable. And like I say, those Oxbow Lakes, which we've just not seen before. You don't know what an Oxbow Lake is. It's where the river curves around so much that it meets up with itself again, and then it takes a shortcut and it just leaves that bow in what was previously the river. Let's follow this. Now, they're talking about problems. There is a minor detailing problem up here, which had it been the only thing wrong with the map, I would have probably let it go. It's not quite the only thing wrong with the map, but there's certainly very little wrong with the map. So it's so insignificant that you people actually moan about me being a nitpicker, but honestly, it's my job. Come on. It's a bit a boring show if I just went, yeah, it's fine. Here, look, trees in the road. Yeah, it's an oversight. I know. So what? And we've got this little pier up here. This nice little resort area. Just go up here, have a little cup of coffee on the pier. Very nice. Out of your flask, probably. Now, let's go to the elephant in the room, which is the mountains. It is a ski resort. This is great. I love it. So anyway, so we go across the very flat river valley, which is great for building on. And then we got these little foothills here. You can see just a change of biome here. Look at the rocks being used there. And the tree placement as well looks absolutely 100% believable. 200% believable if there was such a thing. And then we get up into change of biome again, and the snow and the snowy trees. And look at that. The transition is amazing. Look at the ski slopes. Look at the ski slopes. Let's go over here. Let's go back to the start of the show. There was that intersection down here with the road that went up through the mountains. Let's take this route. We will be turning the fog off in a minute, I promise you, because this is... I think you'll want to see the edge of the map, but there's a reason the fog is left on usually. That's because the edge of the map is decidedly, well, it's intended to hide the multitude of sins, okay? And in this map, it's just edge of the world territory, you know? And I kind of like the whole, it's a bit foggy up in, look, it's cloudy up in the mountains, isn't it? Makes sense to me. Makes sense. Anyway, right up here, can't really see what's going on. The road disappears into it, so we will switch off the edge fog. Boom, thank you very much, Clouds and Fog Toggler mod. Right, now up here we've got, you'll notice we have got the chairlifts. which I did a what if about, and this is one of the most efficient forms of transport on the entire system. If you've got access to chairlifts, then definitely use them. They're great, not just for mountains though, for everything. Okay, now we've noticed there are ski routes. I'm going to show you how well designed this map is, even with the ski routes, by taking you for a little. We've not done little downhill ski before in the show, have we? So we're going to choose a random route. I haven't planned this at all. We're going to take a random route, and while we're skiing, I'll read you some more factoids. And let's have some skiing sound effects. It'll make it feel much more realistic. Here we go. Hang on, guys. Hang on. Bit of downhill skiing. I have sped the footage up because this this process took over 3 minutes to get from the top to the bottom. That's a little bit too long. A little bit too long for me to be doing in the show. But anyway, factoids. More factoids, because more factoids. Where are we? I've lost my page. Help! Help! What? No! Ah, this is a bit embarrassing. Got it. Panic over. Thomas Jefferson, President of the United States, invented the swivel chair. The novelist Anthony Trollope invented pillar boxes. You enjoying this little ride down the mountain? It's great, isn't it? And Gilbert and Sullivan, famed for their comic operas, once wrote a bawdy piece called The Sod's Opera. Quite right too. Anyway, that's it for factoids. Way too many today. Look at this. Look at the planning. We get to the bottom of the hill, and we're right by the chairlift to take us right back up to the top. Look at that for design. That is amazing. Let me just show you. If we pull up and across, show you all the skiing routes. You look at where the skiing routes, they come down the mountains, and at the bottom of the hill here, we've got this chairlift. Bottom of the hill there, chairlift. Bottom of the hill here, chairlift. And one here, chairlift. No matter what route you take, when you get to the bottom of the hill, there's a chairlift to take you back up to the top. Kent, that is inspired, my friend. Let's put the fog back on. Let's put the fog back. It just looks better. Okay, I'm happier with the fog on. I just like it that way. Right, so, oh my God, where on this entire map could I do a screenshot? A thumbnail, I mean, not screenshot, a thumbnail. I think we've got to look over the valley. Right, okay. While I'm trying to find a thumbnail position, your chance to vote on the map. Is it a 1-star map? Is it a 1-star map? Is it a 5-star map? Is it somewhere in between? Your vote really does count. We use it at the end of the month for the Viewer's Choice Top 10. Will this be in the top 10 maps for the month? Only you can decide. Right, my ratings. First of all, aesthetically, it's glorious. Right, I am going to lose a star, but not off of the aesthetics. I don't want to double barrel it on this one, so I'm going to give it 5 for aesthetics. Just wow. Okay, with the detailing. Right, we've got those few trees on the track at the top, and I would let that go. But where I'm going to lose a star is I'm going to combine that with the fact that I find these grids distracting with the forestation. It just seems a bit odd. So rather than lose that off of aesthetics, I'm going to lose it off of the detail combined with those trees on the road. Gameplay potential might be a bit low on the water flow, little bits there. It's not the easiest map to build on, but thoroughly enjoyable. It's a tough map, right? I'm going to give it 4 stars though. Playable, just question mark. A little bit more water, please. Flowing water. You can have this though. Go on. Yeah, the BonBonB seal of approval. Yeah, a little bit of flowing water actually going through the start square, I think would have made a little bit of difference. Even though, yes, I do accept that the water flow is going to be a little bit light. They are light flowing streams. So, what do you think? Do you want to join me again on Monday for some more? And also don't forget, it's the Steam chart show tomorrow morning. Don't miss that one. We'll have another 20 great assets up for the workshop to have a look at. Anyway, thanks for watching, for commenting, for liking and for subscribing. I've been BonBonB, and you've been very, very welcome.